Hello there everyone, and welcome to my channel. This is Bernice here at the Napping Mouse, and in today's video is going to be part 3 of the springtime mini album. So in this series, we're going to show you how to complete the album, and then also how to use up the scraps that you do have and what to do with those scraps, okay? And how can you incorporate that into your album. So yes, you'll get a lot of bang for your buck on this one here. So please stay tuned. Oh, let me just give you a quick flip through so you can see what we are planning on doing, okay? Whoops. This here will be our front cover, and then this is our spine right here and our back cover. We are going to be adding ribbon, okay? And then here's page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 3 has a pocket so you can put some of your little decors in there. You got page 4, page 5, page 6 here has a belly band, and that's from the scrap that we worked on. Whoops. Page 7, and this is page 8, and page 8 has its flip out, okay, and also a side tuck here so you can add more embellishments in there, okay. And then close that up, and then we have our waterfall here. This is page 9 and on page 10, okay. And then we'll make some extra pieces here. We're going to add some, like for example, where's my belly band? My belly band. We can add, well, let's just do it on a regular page. We can add this going here. Look, little tucks here that you can actually hold more ephemeras and however you want to do. Yes. And then also we're going to end up using up some of the ribbon as well here as our scraps for this project, okay? Thank you for joining. Now get your favorite drink and let's get crafting. Supplies that you're going to need. You're going to need to have completed the part 1 and part 2 of the Stack the Deck mini album here, and we have this here. If you want to use, this is optional, ribbon, and you'll need 1 yard of the ribbon. You'll need the measurements also, which I'll have the link down below. You'll need some kind of glue or adhesive. I'm using the scrapbook adhesive, which I still have the refill on my online store. I'll have that link down below. Optional as well, if you want to use if you want to ink your edges, then you'll need some kind of ink and a sponge. And I still think I've got this. I'll have that link down below. Some kind of decorative punch, and then also the scraps from this project that you've worked on, okay? All right, let's get started. Okay, folks, so before we start to glue anything down, the first thing that we want to decide is that if we want to go ahead and ink the edges of our decor and matte piece, and also if we want to use a corner punch, for example, if we want to round our edges here for each piece, or if we wanted to add like a side one. So I'll show you really quickly. So before we ink the edges here, we'll decide whether we want to take one of our pieces here. This is just a sample piece, and sorry if I'm shaking the table, and give it like a decorative edge, okay? You don't have to do it to all, but that is one option before you glue it down if you want to go ahead and do that, okay? And so we'll set those two aside. And then also if you wanted to ink the edges. So for example, I have one here inked, and what I'm doing is inking the edges. This is just to show you a sample. I'm not going to ink the edges because that will be way too long of a video, and this project will take way too long. But I'll just show you, like for example, if you do decide to ink the edges, you can take this whole album and ink the edges while you're watching TV or while you're having some kind of free time that you can, you know, just sit or relax. So and do that. But these are options here if you want to do that. I'm not going to do that for the video, okay? So I'll set these two aside. Okay, and the first thing that we're going to do, set my little mousey aside too, is decide the first thing what we do. So this here is my sheet that you will have. This has all the measurements for the matte paper, the decor paper, the number of cut pieces, and the pages that it goes. But we've already done this. This was in part 1 and 2, okay? So now in part 3, what we're going to do is decide which to glue down first. So the first thing that I want to glue down are the pages, okay? So we're gonna work on our inside pages, but not page 8, okay? And we're gonna work on pages 1 through 7, 9, and 10, okay? So for example, what I mean by that is earlier in the video on the other, I had you number the base of the album just to make it simple. So this is page 1. So we're going to do that. And what I'm going to do is take my runner. Now you can use any kind of glue. You can use regular, you can use the adhesive glue. You can use this is the one that I'm using because this is the faster one. You can use the wet glue. You can use the strip. Any kind of glue would work, okay? So what we're going to do first is we are going to glue our decor paper to our matte paper, okay? And then we'll glue it to the album, okay? Now I'm making sure, I don't know if you can see that here. Sorry about that. I'll move my base here over and I'll move this, okay? So I'm making sure that I'm doing it in the center, okay? That I have at least like 1/8 of an inch around all sides, okay? And the thing with the adhesive is that, like for example, see how I ripped it? Well, that's going to get covered. But just so you know, it's not as flexible as liquid glue would be, okay? Okay, and just make sure you press that all down. And then go ahead and glue that to the back, or the album itself. And again, it'll be 1/8 of an inch all the way around, okay? All right, so now that's down. I'm gonna put this clip back because this is the front cover, which we're not gonna do that just yet. But I'll have that glued here, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna continue on with pages 1 through 7, 9, and 10. I'll have that down, and then when I come back, we'll work on the next step, okay? I'll have that all finished up, and then we'll work on the next step. Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, folks, so now that we have all of our pages glued together and we have our decor pieces, matte pieces already glued in the album, the next thing that we're going to be working on is on page 3 with the pocket, okay? So the next thing that we want to do is we're going to take our pocket piece over here, and we're going to take our matte and our decor paper. We are going to attach our decor paper to our matte paper and then to the pocket itself. Okay, so I'm carefully adhering that all together. I'm a little crooked there, but let me see. I may have a chance to remedy that because I didn't cut it to the very end, and yes, I do. Sometimes you have to tweak things, you know, paper does move. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now I'm going to take these two pieces and adhere it to my pocket front. Okay. Now, I think I've said this in part 2. You do not have to cut out all of the decor papers, and if in the end you do decide that you don't want to use it, they can always be turned into like little tags. They could be turned into what do you call it, tuck spots. You know, you will find a use for it, okay? So it's always better to have it already glued. Okay, so now I'm gluing the flaps of the pocket. Now it's important to put these two inside and then glue it here. That way it won't get caught. Okay, so it'll be a lot easier. And then go ahead and put it all the way down to the edge. And I'm making sure that the paper matches here and also the paper matches here. You see it on the edges here? So yes, perfect, perfect. Yes, awesome. All right, that is page 3. So now we're done with page 3. The next thing that we're going to do now is work on page 8. So we're going to go all the way to page 8. And again, let's take out these our clips here, and we're going to glue this, the decor paper to here, to the matte paper. So let's adhere that. And folks, if you're interested in more things like this, I will be having more tutorials down. So I would love for you to join our small little community. We do have people here that give a lot of great advices and a lot of great comments. And I have learned so much from you people, and I'm so glad to have met. So if you want to be a part of our community, please consider subscribing. And also, I would love for you to also hit that like button, okay? And that really would help out my channel. All right, now you saw that I glued this part over here to the left side of the album. I also make sure that this here matches, okay? It's not going to be completely and exactly perfect, but it'll be really close enough, okay? Now, the next thing that we're going to do is work on our flip outs here. Now, our flip outs, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and glue it. Well, actually, let's go ahead and put this on. It makes it easier if you don't have it glued down. Okay. Well, I guess it just depends. I mean, some people consider it easy. Other people don't consider it too easy. So it all depends on your taste, but okay. Now I'm going to glue this down, or adhere this down. And can you see when you use this, it just makes it go so much faster, so much easier. Okay, I'll center that, making sure it's 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and then press that down. I am sorry if I'm shaking the table. Okay, we'll go ahead and do it to this flap as well. I hope everyone is doing well today. My God, summer is right around the corner. Unfreaking believable. Oops, let's not screw that one up. This weekend, my son's girlfriend is graduating, getting her master's degree, so we'll be attending her ceremony. I think it's going to be really great, and then we'll be able to meet her side of the family as well. We haven't met them yet, so there we go. Perfect. Okay, and I'll do this side. And let me know what your plans are for the summer. I've got a lot of craft projects already underway, so I'm gonna see if I can film more videos. Other than that, we're gonna just stay around here. I mean, I live close to the lake, so it makes it a lot nicer and easier just to stay around, stick around town. And you know, I like to do a lot of thrifting, a lot of going to flea markets, and oops, ran out. Let me go get some more of this. I will be right back. Okay, folks, I am back, and I am ready to get this going. Okay, now this is for the flap. Oops. Okay, sorry for shaking the table too. That does bug me when I do shake the table. Okay, now I got the flaps. Okay, so the flaps are all done. And at this point, if you haven't glued the flap down to the album itself, go ahead and do that, okay? Next thing that we're going to do is get our side tuck here. And we are going to, I'm going to move this little thing aside because I know it's going to bother me. Okay, so we're going to glue down now the decor paper to the mat, to the side tuck itself. And let's do that, get all this out of the way. Okay. Oops, let me put that down a little bit more. There we go. Now in this one here, we want to go ahead. This is going to be covering this flap over here. So this is what we're going to do. And if you want to make some kind of like a little notch here, you can do that. But the reason why I had you use more scraps over here, because we're covering most of it up that you won't even see it. Now this one here, I prefer to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to go ahead and glue it on the 3 sides here. Okay. And then I'm going to put this down, making sure it doesn't go on to the fold line, or right before the fold line, okay? And let's press that in. The reason why I prefer to use the small liquid glue, I think it's actually easier to move, but also it'll give you more room to put things in. So oops. I don't want to use that as an example, okay, but like for example, I don't want it to go like more like to be able to glue like all this, at least 1/4 of an inch there, because that's just going to be way too much glue and I won't be able to fit a lot of things inside. So there we go. So that's page 8 right there. Okay, we are almost done here. Okay, so now this is actually the back right there. So let me put this here for now. Okay, so we got this. So now we're almost there, guys. We are almost there. There's our 3rd piece, or our pocket page, our pages here. Oh, this is page 8. This was the flip out right there. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is actually work on our waterfall. The first thing that I want you to do is get like a strip of paper, and it would be, I guess it won't matter because you're not going to see it, but get like at least 6 inches right now. We're going to cut that down later, but what I want you to do first is I'm going to take these here, okay, and what we're going to do is at the very top, we're going to put glue here, and we're going to put it at the very top of our strip there, okay? If there's a little bit hanging out, we can go ahead and trim it, but this is basically what I want you to do is actually put glue, and we'll put a little bit of adhesive here, and we're going to put the right there, pretty much kind of like in the center, okay? Oh, making sure that this doesn't get glued down, okay? So that's what we're doing right now. And then we're going to take our second piece here, and we are going to glue it like right underneath there, okay? But we need to match up, okay? And just enough that it will, like the flap itself will attach, okay? We're trying to make sure that it's straight, okay? Then we're going to get our other piece, and we're going to glue it down, matching the sides. And then I kind of like just press it down with my thumb and then open it up and pressing it down with in the back over here. Okay, now we're going to get our last piece and do the same thing, making sure it's all lined up on each side. And once I got it lined up, just press it down like that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and trim. Okay, and this will be scrap here, and then I will trim also the top part as well. Okay, now this is completely up to you. If you want to go ahead and attach it to the top, okay, you can go ahead and do so. I could prefer to do it to add the decor pieces first and the mat pieces and then attach the whole thing. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm adding the decor to the mat, and I'm going to do the front pages first. Okay, because I know for sure that it's going to be right side up. Okay, so I'll get that out of the way. Okay, got that. It's a little bit off, but it's not going to be that big of a deal. Okay, and if it's easier to take out all of these here to put it down, go ahead and do so. Just so you have everything in its place. Oh, okay, well, here. I said to do the whole thing first in the beginning, but you don't have to do that because we're going to flip it over, okay? And the reason why I want you to do the waterfall first, because if you were to glue this before attaching the waterfall to a strip, you can accidentally glue this down thinking that it's right side up, but it's going to end up being upside down. Now, my paper is not directional, so it doesn't matter. But if your paper is directional, it's going to be a huge boo-boo, okay? And sometimes it's hard to take out. Like, for example, if I were to do that now and take it and glue it down with this adhesive that I'm using and then put it back and then take it back up, I'll rip the paper like you saw me do in the very beginning, you know, and it wasn't down for not even 2 seconds. So, but anyways, just keep that in mind when you're doing that, okay? So I'm gonna finish adhering all of these together, and then I will be right back. Okay, folks, so this is the last piece that I'm doing. Alrighty, and we're going to glue this to the very end there. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now I have some crafters that what they'll do is that they'll go ahead and glue the whole thing over here, and it's best to do that. So I'm going to attach glue. You may want to use wet glue for this to adhere better. No. Just to make sure that it's nicely attached. This is going to be a little bit heavier. Oh, what's going on there? Or maybe I need to do like a double one. Like, for example, you know what? Let's just put glue on the last part. How about that? Okay, and then this the wet and adhesive combo would allow me to spread on the allow me to move while also oh, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to put it on the very, very top. You could put it in the middle, you could put it wherever you would like to go, but just make sure that it's glued down, and go ahead and open that up and then press it down like that. Okay, there we go. Okay, you see that? It's a little bit kind of crooked, but we can always remedy that. And also, if you wanted to put like an extra one of this down here, you can, like, it's almost like it's a continuing of a waterfall. You can do that. But this is how it looks. Now, there are some crafters that what they prefer to do is actually put some kind of paper on here to cover this part here. I'm going to leave it blank because in the future, I may end up putting some kind of like notation. For example, if I have a picture here of somebody, I'm going to want to put the name of that person there. Okay, and I may want to do it in a different color paper, or I may want to write it down myself. So I'm giving myself some options. But I always save my scrap papers from this particular project because then I can use what I've got and it'll always match, okay? All right, folks, now the last thing that we're going to do is work on our front and back cover, okay? And I'm going to put that aside, and this is my back cover here. So the first thing that I'm going to do, let's just put these two down already. Okay, so in the back cover, what I'm doing is gluing the decor paper to the matte paper. Okay, got that done. Okay, and that's my back. So if I wanted to write down back, I can go ahead and write down back. And then I'm going to do the same thing to my front cover and the spine. Okay, if you do like what you see, then please give this video a thumbs up. It does help my channel. And also consider subscribing. I've got a lot more crafts coming up as well, okay? Now let's go ahead and glue down our wiggly spine here. All right, there we go. Okay, so I got my front, my spine, and my back. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is, before I actually put that down, I want to put ribbon. And I've chosen this ribbon here, and this ribbon is from Works Ribbon. I still have some of this and also some other ones too. This one here is called Daffodil, and it's 7/8 by 3 yards. So you'll get a lot of ribbon, and also can you see that it's sparkly? So I just thought it was really cool. Well, what I'm going to do first is fold it in half, and then make sure it's pretty much, it doesn't have to be exact, but pretty much onto the back. And what I'll do is I'll add tape like this for now, just to hold it down. Okay, then I'll do the same to the back, and making sure that it's all even and centered and where it's supposed to be. And that's why, oops, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, sometimes it doesn't do that really. Okay, let me fix that before I screw up my beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna put wet glue instead. Okay, and I'm not putting glue on the spine, if you've noticed. I don't feel that it needs it, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Okay, now this is the back side. So I'm gonna adhere my back piece. We're gonna finish this off with glue. I guess it was meant for me to use the glue instead. Okay, so now we got our back side, and that's gonna get all covered. This is going to make sure also that our ribbon will not get loose. It will stay down. Okay, I got that going. Okay, and now let's go ahead and attach our front. Okay, and now let's do our spine. And if you choose not to add the spine because you want to have the paper or the ribbon shown, you can also do that. Or you can also, there's another option of you putting down the spine first, gluing it down first, and then putting the ribbon on top of that if you wanted to see it. I just thought that this was great. Okay, all right, let's make sure that it is all glued down and stayed, and it's not going to go anywhere. Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. I am happy. Okay, so that's our front cover, and then here's our first page, our second page, our third page with the pocket, our fourth page, our fifth, sixth page, 7. Here's our 8th page with the flip out. Okay, on both sides, and then the flip out has a side tuck there. And then page 9, and then page 10 has our well, wobbly looking little waterfall here. Okay, now the last thing, I know that looks like it's finished, but we're not done yet. Okay, so the last thing that we want to do is we're going to use up all of our scraps. Okay, so let's get our scraps and see what we can do with it. And also, this is a great option if you do want to still ink the edges or use some decor pieces. You can do that. I've cut some up here, separated. So for example, let's take this piece here and let's create like a little note pocket. Well, then I'll go ahead and I can use this as a little booklet or something, or make it look like a tag, but then the tag opens up into a booklet. Okay, so I've got that right there, and we can add that piece inside. Let's see, we'll set this all aside in the beginning, and then or we'll create it all first, and then in the, next we'll then set it aside. Okay, all right. Okay, let's see. Oh, let's make tags. Okay, so I have another piece here that we can actually create some tags. Well, these here I went ahead and I inked it. So let's go ahead and create our tags. Now, there's a lot of corner punches out there. I don't feel for tags you need to use a corner punch. I mean, why spend the money? Just get yourself a good cardboard from like a cereal box or something, and then just cut some corners, some different corners, and get yourself a hole punch, and that'll work just as well. Okay, and hole punches are really easy to find. They're very inexpensive as well, and a lot of times you can just get it from like a dollar store or even the thrift shop. Okay, there is our tag. Now let me see where my, oh, well, you know what, let's do a different kind of tag. I'm going to show you. I have this here, but I don't have much left, so I guess I have like, what, 24 inches or something like that. Let's cut this up into sections. I'm going to take one and I'm just going to cut this up into sections. Okay, and I'm going to show you something completely different. Okay, so instead of using a hole punch and putting the ribbon through, what you can do is actually take a ribbon and then fold it in half like this, making sure a little bit of a tag sticks out, and get yourself, you can use a brad, you can use a stapler like I'm doing, easy, and then we can go ahead and cover that up. So, oh, let's do it again for this one, and I think it'll be so, I mean, I love the colors between the two of them, and it just looks so springtime with the daisies, and then the color yellow. The yellow is like nice and sparkly too. So I'm going to set that aside. Okay, so I've got this, this, and this. I can actually put like a little pull thing too, but I'm gonna wait on that here. Okay, I've got this. I've got my scrap of ribbon here, so I could use it for something else. Okay, let's do something else. I've got my tags. I've got my little pockets, or my little pocket here. Let's see what we can do. We can get our scraps like this, and we can get a smaller one. Like, let's see. Well, let me get a smaller one of this. I'm gonna fold this in half. This would actually make for a nice rosette, but I'm not gonna do the rosette right now. What I'm gonna do is fold it in half. Okay, I'm gonna cut it like this, and what we can do, fold it in half again. Okay, and it's going to be pretty small, and so I could use, you know, create like a flag, another fishtail kind of thing. And let's see, oops, I didn't get this all the way. Okay, and then let's get one of these. Oh, I want it to be longer though. I don't want it to be a short one. I want it to be longer. Do I have a longer one? I sure do. I sure do. So let's see. Let's cut this up. I will cut this in half. Actually, I can do it like this. Let's see. I want it to be... Okay, will it work thicker like this? I mean, I've got my trimmer here, but I'm just trying to see what I can come up with while just folding and cutting and folding and things like that. Okay. Huh, I didn't mean for that to be straight in the middle, but I'm going to cut this down just a little bit more, and I'm going to cut a fishtail out of this guy here. And what I can do, that'll be scraps. Let's put one on top of another like this. Oh, that's kind of cute. Do like that. Okay, let's glue this together so it doesn't move so much. And you'll see soon what I'm planning on doing. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take our jumbo clip and we're going to put it right through the longest part here. Okay, so you have your jumbo, you got the longest part, and this is both front and back. Okay, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. So long as the paper doesn't extend the jumbo clip itself, then you're good to go. Okay, and if you wanted to add another one, another paper to go here in the center, you can do that. We're gonna not do that. I'm going to glue it down. Don't need to glue it down all the way. Okay, and there we go. Oops, let's get this. And then we can also use this to decorate as well. Put that down. So now we have something really cool. And then when you put it into the album, say for example, you want to clip it down like this to hold like maybe a photo or maybe like a little saying or maybe, you know, a tag like this. You've got options there. And but we're gonna I'll show you how to decorate this real quick so you see what I'm talking about. So we have that, let's see, and I've got that, and now that we're on the thing with fishtails, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to create two little fishtails, and I'm going to see if I can cut it out at one time, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm planning on doing. But there's so many options that you can use with scraps, and normally people are like, okay, just put it away or just throw it away, and it's like, you know, I'll go recycle or however you want to do it. But I'm like, no, there's so much options, and it just makes it for more of a custom made cuteness that is just like too much to do. Now I put these two together, but this is going to be like a, oops, I'm sorry, like a side tuck. Okay, so for example, if I want to go ahead and embellish it over here, or I'm so sorry. So if I wanted to put it up on the top like that, I can. Or if I wanted to put it on the side like that, I can. And it could just be for embellishment reason, or it could be something to just hold something down. Okay, I'm not going to put that down just yet. Let me see if I could just do it. It's too much of the same paper. That's what but anyways, that's what I mean by doing that. Okay, and I'll just put like a piece of paper down here. Let's take that glue out of the way, but that's another option. Okay, and just make a few of those, and that'll be great. Okay, and then let's see what else. Oh, get your decor punches. Like, so say for example you have this, okay, and it's just a plain old thing. Go ahead and start cutting the corners. Like for example, this one I'm rounding the corners, okay, and I can use it as like another note card. Okay, or I can round the corners. Let's round the corners of this guy here. Okay, and I can do it like a belly band. How adorable is that? Oh, okay, we're just going for it. Okay, I mean, let's see. Now, some people don't add it as a belly band, and maybe I didn't need to cut around the corners. I'm gonna do it just because I started doing it, and why not? But yes, look how adorable. You can actually, let's get one that, that'll be good, that'll be good. Actually, the pages. Okay, I'm gonna put it there. So what I'm gonna do, and a belly band is this. you just glue the top and the bottom and just put very little so you can fit a lot more in. Now it could be horizontal or vertical, but a belly band is basically a little band that you can insert more photos or more ephemeras or more tags into it. Okay, so I've got that there, but what I'm talking about is I could add this here, like, you know, or I have like a little note there saying thanks or something, or I can do it on this side, or I can add another photo, or I can add a few of these, like let's put this in and let's put this in, you know. You just have so much option. Or it can also be to just hold down all of your paper clips. So yeah, there you go. And let's see, what else can we do? I've got my little side tuck, I've got this. Oh, decoration. Okay, so I've shown this in some other videos, but if you have a thing that has like if you have hole punches that you can actually punch out, like for example, I have this 1 1/4 punch. Well, why not punch out some of these little circles? Okay, like these little daisies. How adorable would this be to add? Okay, and I don't even need to use, like, oh my God, even the, and you're like, okay, why use that? Well, it could still work for whatever you want to do. Maybe I'll use the 1-inch circle punch. Okay, so see how cute that is right there? And let's see. You can still find ways of covering it up. Okay, like maybe put another flower there. Or let's say, for example, I've got this punch right here from eCase's Success. So what I could do is these blue areas, I can go ahead and punch out a few of those. And what's great about this particular paper is that it's it kind of has like this ombre. It's light to dark to light, and it goes like all over. Oops, let's take this out, clean that up, and put that, and let me show you what I'm talking about. So let's take, for example, and I'm using this piece here. Oh, and let's put it like underneath there, or I could put it right there, okay? Then, what is that one that I'm just gonna use that, sorry about that. I'm just gonna use that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and glue this down, okay? And I like to spread my glue. And do you see what I'm doing here? I am putting it in the very middle like that. Now I could have put it here or on the corner and it still would have looked good. Now let me get some of these little pieces here. So I'll fold this up like this, okay? And I'll put glue here down like that. It's just a little bit. I'll take the other one and I will kind of overlap it, but making sure that it has like more of the petals, okay? And then, but just glue the middle so the petals are still like moving, and you know, they're not like, it gives it more of a dimension when they're not all glued together. Okay, there we go. And I'll press it down, good. Okay, now I'll put glue here in the center, just a little bit. And I can choose to put flowers here, you know, or stagger with flowers here, or use different color flowers, you know. So, and I can add like a little pearl here in the middle, and that would still look good. Or if I don't have any of those kind of embellishments, just take like a colored pen or a colored pencil and go ahead and make yourself like a little center flower there. That would look extremely cute. But yes, go ahead and, oh, I got some extra glue here on the table, so I'm gonna just use that up too, because I want to use up most of what I've got here, okay? But yeah, so then just create some of this, but you're using up the papers that you already have. You're using up those scraps, okay? So let's see what we have. I'm gonna set these all aside. We've got our album here. We've got our little flowers here, our little embellishments here. Okay, I've got my side tuck here. Oh, hey, why not? I could put a flower right there, or I could put a flower right there, or let's just do a simple flower right there, and that'll look nice. And it's only on one side too, so I can do it on both sides. Okay, let's do this. Got too much glue on that one. But I could put one right there, and why not, let's put another one right there. Okay, stack them up like that. That'll look good, and you never saw that line right there. So there's always options, okay? And so try out a lot of different ways, and then you can go ahead and do it. Oh, that would look cute. Or maybe let's just say I've got this here, and let me see, I can do like a regular, could just do a circle right there and cover that up, and then no one will get hurt. And then later on I could put, once I make more flowers, I could put more flowers there. Or let's put two, whoops, not this one, that's not what I meant. I meant something like this, but that wouldn't camouflage it as much. But you see what I'm saying, that there are options so that you can do. Okay, all right folks, well there you have it. I hope you liked this video. Again, please give it a thumbs up if you did, and consider subscribing to my channel. Until next time, you have a great day. Bye-bye.